I'm Hilah, and today on Hilah Cooking, I'm going to show you a really simple butternut squash soup recipe. Then we're going to throw a little parsley coconut sort of relish on top to add some texture and a little bit of zing. And you know, lots of people have been asking, we would like soup. May I please have some soup? Please, more soup recipes, please, like their Oliver Twist. So here you go, have some soup. I am your benefactor. If you've never seen butternut squash before, or if you've seen them and you don't know, we never knew what the hell to do with it. So this is a butternut squash. It's a really dense, sort of slightly sweet, but mostly bland, textured, or flavored squash. It's bright orange. Let's just cut it open. I'll show you what it looks like. God, I'll stop talking. Okay, so there's a lot of discourse on the easiest and best way to cut up one of these things. It's a little bit unwieldy. This is the best way that I have found that is sort of like combination of safe and doesn't take a bajillion years. So I'm going to cut off the little stem end and then just use a regular little swivel blade peeler and sort of use the base of it as your handle, the base of your squash, and then just peel the neck of it. My peeler is really old, so I'm going to go this way. But the skin on these is really thick and usually waxed, so you don't want to eat it. And you know, all winter squashes, same story. So once our shaft is peeled, we're gonna separate that, just cut it off. And all the seeds are in the bottom, all the seeds are down here. So we can just sort of set that aside for now. Bloop. And then get this and sort of like peel it like you might peel an apple. Just sort of turning it and peeling it. And you could also just cut the whole thing in half and roast it in the oven, like 450 with a little bit of water in the baking pan until it's soft, and then just scoop the meat out. And that would actually probably be ultimately the safest way to do it, but I have not the time to do that. Okay, all right, that's done. Clear our space. Just go ahead and just put that on the floor there. Daisy will probably eat that. Just kidding, I'm gonna be really pissed at myself in a minute. Okay, so go ahead and we can cut the bottom off this guy. And cut it in half. And there's all the seeds. There's the steeple. Okay, so you can pull these out and you can roast these just like you do pumpkin seeds. And in fact, I really like butternut squash seeds roasted. I think they're a little bit sweeter than pumpkin seeds and a little more tender. And they're also quite a bit smaller, as you can see. And then we're just gonna sort of cut this up into some rough chunks. So flat side down and just the smaller your chunks, the faster it cooks, and the faster you have soup on your table to feed your hungry little orphan children. Apologies to any kids living on the street. Okay, and then cut this guy. It's even denser and harder, like I like my men. Get it? Okay, and like so, and like so. Look how bright, beautiful, and bright orange that is, and it's very finely textured, unlike pumpkin, which can be kind of stringy. So this is really dense, almost like a potato or something. All right, whatever. You're tired of me talking. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. We're gonna start sauteing up some onions. Start with just a couple tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna put in about a cup of diced onion. Okay, so I'm just gonna stir this over, you know, high-ish heat for a couple of minutes until we start to see some little brown specks popping up. And a couple minutes later, onions start to look like this. They're just starting to get a little caramelized. They're getting a little sweet and sassy. And oh, we're gonna add some salt and some curry powder. I'm not using a lot of curry powder. We don't want this to be like a curry soup. We just want people to taste it and be like, what is that? You are one classy gent. They'll think you're classy because they'll be confused and amazed by how delicious it is. All right, and then we're just gonna add our squash chunks. And a little bit of garlic. Ooh, it smells really, really good. Yay. And I'm gonna add just about a half a cup of water. And then put the lid on it. And I'm just gonna turn it down to like a medium. Try to get a tight fitting lid. Turn it down to about medium, and we're just gonna let it simmer for about 15 minutes until the squash is about tender. Once your squash is good and soft, like this is, meaning I can stab it easily with a knife, I'm gonna add some peeled chopped apple. And I like to peel mine because I want the texture of the soup to be really smooth and velvety, but you don't have to, I guess. But I don't know, whatever, that's your call. Let it go for maybe another 5 minutes or so to get the apples softened. Our apples are tender. I know because I already checked. Look at that beauty-ness scene happening. And I'm gonna add some chicken stock. Again, if you wanted to make it vegetarian, you could use vegetable stock. But I have some homemade chicken stock, so I'm gonna use that. And that's just gonna put that in, sort of like cool it off enough for me to use my little immersion blender to puree it. If you don't have one of these, you can just sort of do it in batches in a blender or a food processor, but be really careful when you're blending hot liquids in a blender and put like a towel, dish towel over the lid and hold it down because the pressure builds up with hot liquids and it can blow the top off and make a huge mess. You'd be real sad and real pissed at me. So let's just puree this mother. Jesus Lord, it's so noisy. All right, and I'm gonna add the rest of my stock. I just didn't want to add it all at once because I didn't want it to be so deep and hot and then splatter hot things on me. So just reheat this until it's nice and steaming. And while that's happening, you can make your little relish. I've already got mine here. This is just sweetened coconut, shredded coconut, some minced parsley, some fresh jalapeno, and some lemon juice. And you can make this a few hours ahead of time. So great, awesome. We're just gonna reheat that business and then we are in business. Once it's hot enough, give it a little taste-a-rooney. I tasted mine. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice to my pot, but you might wanna add a little bit more salt too. Mine just needed a little tartness. The apple makes it kind of sweet and then the curry powder makes it interesting, and the soup is just really, really good and so wholesome, dudes. Golly. Okay, and then a little bit of my relish on top. And this stuff, if you make this relish, you will probably find lots of things to do with it. I could probably eat it by the spoonful. It's really, really good. It's kind of like a cross between a gremolata and like a dry Indian chutney. Okay, so give it a little taste. And I love a little relish with these pureed soups. It just adds a nice little texture contrast and it looks pretty too. Oh my gosh, I'm stoked about this. Man, so good together. It's like sour and sweet and a little spicy from the jalapeno and the relish. Really, really wonderful layers of flavors, and I think you're really, really gonna like this. I hope this hits all of your soup buttons. So try the recipe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, and eat some warm soup because it's good for your soul. Grab some homemade, god damn it, Jesus Christ almighty, like an idiot. Son of, made a video on that, roasting seeds, if you would like to watch it. It's weird as shit, and it wasn't very popular. Okay, I'm gonna stop complaining about my life now. Oh man, that was really good. Oh man, my voice gets real deep when I'm excited.